Hi everyone, Sally Williams here with Ben McCulloch. Thank you so much for joining us for our next Martogg Industry Moment. We're going to be covering local manufacturing and also recycled content. And we are super excited to have Steve Pataris from Alka Power joining us to chat about the product and also what he's doing with regards to sustainable packaging. Hey Steve, hi Ben.
How you going, Sally? Steve?
Hi Sally, hi Ben, how are you?
Yeah, good,
really
thanks.
well. Thank you so much, Steve, for joining us. It's such a great story. Steve, can you just give us a quick snapshot of Alka Power, just for the sake of those who are listening who don't know the product?
Sure, Sally. Well, Alka Power is Australia's first and still only high pH alkaline water, 9 to 10. And we set up a bottling facility about 4 years ago in the beautiful, pristine Southern Highlands of New South Wales, where we draw the natural spring water direct from the source and we infuse it with marine minerals, and we also make our bottles in-house.
Good for you. That is incredible. So you've made a lot of changes over the last 3 years with regards to your bottling, but I want to just have a quick chat to Ben because I'd love to know how you two came together.
Yeah, good question, and it's a pretty interesting one actually. To take you back 3 years ago, I was walking down the aisle of my supermarket, local supermarket, and I came across the brand of Alka Power. I got in touch with the business and was fortunate enough to meet Steve. Steve, I think at that point in time, the two key things that you were looking at was one, localizing supply. So having your preforms obviously manufactured locally, as you know, in comparison to having them imported in. And the second thing was recycled content, which is fantastic. So fast forward 3 years, here we are, and you've achieved both of those key things, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it was very daunting when we first had the whole concept of setting up our own bottling facility. We looked at different methods of getting those bottles. One is a lot of bottlers, they truck in empty bottles and then fill, and then the bottles go back to the warehouses or get sold. We thought we'd manufacture our bottles. So originally we were buying the preforms in and then blowing, and then we came to the decision when, Ben, you approached us with regards to purchasing the resin from Martogg, and then we set up our own tooling and producing our preforms. Coming back now is that we looked as a business how to be as sustainable as possible, and one of those things was to look at rPET. And you know, our major competitors with the big two, you know, they've gone on to doing 100% rPET. But as a family business and the market leader in the alkaline water space, we thought we'd take an initiative and just go straight into it and be 100% rPET. So that's meeting the APCO compliance, which is 2025, to have at least 30% rPET in the resin. We thought, you know, again, market leader, we do 100%. So we've done those trials, and with thanks to you and your team, Ben, we've achieved the results that we needed to be able to manufacture those 100% rPET preforms.
Yeah, the trials went through seamlessly. You know, color obviously wasn't an issue. Structural integrity was all good as expected. So it was really good.
So what sort of volume are we talking here, Steve?
Well, our annual volume of production is about 3.5 million bottles.
Okay.
And that's across the two sizes.
Yeah, right. And so stumbling blocks along the way, because I guess there would have been a few.
Whenever you look at making your own PET bottles, there's always areas where you do come across issues. But I think, you know, having a great team on board with Alka Power, our staff are amazing. They go above and beyond. You know, we're a family business. We're very proud of what we have as a unique product in Alka Power. So, you know, we come to these hurdles and we jump over them and touch wood.
Great example of that it can be done, Steve. So congratulations to you, an Australian business as well, which is just so exciting. I want to talk about price, and also I'd love to know what your consumer and your customer thinks of what you've done now and how they feel about it. Let's go with price first.
Yeah, well, you know, transitioning to rPET, there is an additional cost to that. We've absorbed that because we really believe that, one, Alka Power is such a unique alkaline water which helps with a lot of people with inflammation and any acidic issues. And two, it's available to all walks of life. So it's affordable. Like the 1.5 litre is $3.50 retail. And, coming into CDS, the return and earn, we sort of absorbed that. Then with launching the RPET, which will be in a couple of months' time, we just absorbed that, so it's available to everyone. So as a business, we really hold high regard to being, one, as sustainable as possible, and two, having the product available to all walks of life.
Yeah.
So.
And the customers, you're obviously a member of our co, as you've mentioned, so your customer can see on the actual label.
Yes.
Details.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So it's an educational piece for them as well. So they must love it.
Very much so, and that goes on to our social media as well. Yeah. We try and be an educator in the bottled water industry to make sure consumers know what they're drinking, because it's extremely important to make sure that you are drinking the right water, because there's a lot of misleading messaging with other brands out there. And really, once people understand the importance of getting the high pH and the mineral absorption, it's more efficient for people to drink good quality water.
And because it's RPET, you think that your consumer may think, oh, well, it's RPET, it might not be as good, or there might be a plastic leakage, or, just something along those lines. Do you get a bit of that feedback?
Oh, we get consumers coming back to us through socials and through our website, questioning, because there's lovers of PET who are educated, and then there's haters of PET who aren't educated. And I think with APCO, they're trying to share the messaging about that PET really is your friend, and it's the most sustainable media. But, glass bottles, people always say, why don't you have it in glass bottles? Well, glass bottles, the amount of energy it takes to get that trucked in, to produce it, the energy to produce it, the weight of it, the transport, the carbon footprint, and the sustainability. There's a glut of glass in Australia which can't be recycled because it's costly to do so. Whereas now, especially with this return and earn coming into play, and the big plastic guys and Martogg, they've really jumped on board to expedite the whole loop process and getting that plastic and remanufacturing it into resins and RPETs and all that sort of stuff. It's amazing. And I think in the years to come, with the right educating, consumers will be really understanding that it is a good product. I mean, how does the product get into the ocean? How does it get in the environment? It's just like the McDonald's wraps. You see them Saturday morning, Sunday morning, people throw them on the roads and all that. It's being sustainable and responsible as a person to make sure that you put that plastic bottle or that wrap in the proper bin to get recycled.
Absolutely.
Education is certainly key, and it's something that we've focused on pretty broadly, but specifically at the consumer level. But going back to it, Sally, two of the core themes that we've focused on over the past 12 to 18 months in terms of localizing supply and the use of recycled content where possible. I think Alka Power is a really good example of two of those things. And I think these industry moments are very much about, sharing the wins and all of the positive things that are happening in the industry. And again, Alka Power truly show that all of that is possible.
Yeah, and I would imagine there's quite a lot of people probably want to reach out to you directly, Steve. Can they do that? Can we put your details below?
Oh, yes. Like we even with customer feedback, with questions that customers do have, we get back to them straight away. And 9 times out of 10, I'll be the one getting back to them because I'm very passionate about this product. I'm passionate that we have this bottling facility in the middle of the bush, and we're in the Southern Highlands, and I'm just proud of what we've done in this industry and how we're doing it.
Oh, we're proud of you, Steve. So congratulations on your journey so far, and we really appreciate you coming on and chatting with us. You're our first guest in our industry moment, so we were super excited to have you on board because it's such a great story to tell. And if anybody wants to make some comments below, please do. You can also reach out to Steve or also to Ben. But we've been thrilled to have you. Thank you both. And thank you for listening. And we'll see you in the next industry moment.
That's great.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Sally. Thanks, Steve.
Bye.
Bye-bye.